You know, when I met you about 2 years ago, you said that you admire the
मेरे को बड़ा याद लगता है, मेरे को याद नहीं रहता क्या?
Well, it's my job. It's my job to do that. uh, you said that you admire the Tata Group, both in terms of corporate governance and what they've done. What is your take on the change of guard at Tata's now, with Chandra as the chairman of Tata Sons? Can you do the magic, what he's done at Tata? Yes.
See, Tatas are blessed by God. They are my role model in life. They're the persons who established the house of Tatas, Sir Ratan Tata, not this, and Sir Jamshedji Tata. They willed all their wealth to charity. And do you know one thing, the Tata Cancer Hospital in Bombay, every child who comes to Bombay is examined by them. If they feel they can cure it, they give free treatment. The Indian Cancer Society gives medicines. Now they're setting up a cancer hospital in every district, in every headquarters in India. Who set up India's first steel plant, first hotel, 5-star hotel, first power plant, first software company, first car manufacturing company? Who set up the Indian Institute of Sciences? Who set up the Tata? So it is a role model of what is wealth. They are creating wealth for the good of society. What greater noble aim can a human have? Right? So they are my role model in life, and I think Mr. Chandrasekhar is God's gift to the house of Tata. He's a man who doesn't call the lion, he goes to the lion's den. He understands. And although he's an engineer, he understands finance better than us.
So again, so in terms of a group, would you say that watch out for Tata Group of companies as a cluster, given that there are a lot of changes which could happen now?
Everything in life is not stock market. One thing is there, Nikunj, you see how God blesses good people. कि टिस्को, टेल्को, टाटा केमिकल में 30%, TCS में 70%, करने वाला कौन? वो ही ना. So I think it's a great, I think there is a great thing for all of us to learn from the house of Tatas and how they're able to imbibe good talent. I was the first person to defend Mr. Ratan Tata when the whole dispute started. I came on television, I said, मेरे लिए थोड़ा, मेरी थोड़ी दुखता अंदर में Tata. But I really respect them and love them.
So which Tata Group of company do you think can be the star now next 5 to 10 years?
I know about 10 years. Next 5 years, I think Tata Steel, Tata Communication. Two companies,
Two companies, okay.
And Telco is a long shot.
I look at the NBFC stocks. They've exhibited in terms of earnings, but in terms of an headline scope for earning expansion could be there, but the P expansion, do you think it's not there now?
एक चीज है, जिसके पास शेयर है, उसका 1 लाख का 1 करोड़ है. अब 1 करोड़ का 80 लाख हो गया. But the company is performing well. क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है? See, nothing in life is linear here. So my advice to shareholders of good companies are that unless and until the earning trend is going to reverse or earnings growth is going to reverse, there are going to be periods where stocks are going to consolidate. और क्या बोला Mr. Buffett ने क्या बोला? You need only one good decision in life, right? If I see my career, it's of course the trading wealth that I earned is very, very important, but it is 5, 7, 8 investment decisions which have made my wealth essentially.
It's that time of the year where we start talking about elections once again, and that is of women's market curiosity. So do you think for markets to really go higher,
I can't predict what my wife will do tomorrow. Can I predict the election results? But then why are we fixated with the election results? Can we know today? But I personally feel we are far more bearish about the BJP prospects than the reality. Point number 2, I think, is that it's very difficult to predict. When the BJP lost in India shining, the Sensex was 6,500, it came to 4,500. And it was 25,000 within that 4 years. Then when Congress won 209 seats, the Nifty went up 40% in 2 days. And after that, it never went up. So India is greater than individuals. Of course, Mr. Modi, I would very much like that he comes back. And see, what is the agenda of the opposition? Remove Modi. So unless there is something real disillusionment with the Modi government, and see, this is going to be fought on personalities. तो अभी ठीक है ना, हिंदुस्तान विल गो ऑन यार. मैं एक चीज तेरे को स्टैंप पेपर पे लिख के देता हूँ, इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट. ये खिचड़ी पुलाव आने वाला नहीं है.
BJP government and Prime Minister Modi coming back, or BJP government you're sure of not Prime Minister Modi coming back?
If BJP comes, most likely it's going to be Modi only.
Okay. I'll like to draw your attention to a thesis which you followed. Now you've always said watch out for headwinds and tailwinds. If a sector has natural headwinds, bet on a good business, it will create wealth. If a sector has headwinds, if you bet on a business, the wealth will be destroyed. If a sector has tailwinds, bet on a good company, the wealth will be created automatically. So from a big picture standpoint, where do you see tailwinds and where do you see headwinds?
I see tailwinds for India. अब सेक्टर में बुफे है यार, बहुत डिशेज है, जो पसंद है खाओ, ज़्यादा मत खा लेना, बेहद नहीं होगी.
No, the reason I'm asking you this is because in the past you've said you bought PSU stocks, you bought pharma companies, you were very bullish on defense manufacturing. So do you see this kind of a sectoral tailwind anywhere for any Indian sector?
मेरे को बैंक्स में लगता है very big tailwinds for banks. Tailwind in the sense that there's going to be credit growth. You can't create these banks. And I think this problem of bad assets will now peak by March 19. And market is slowly recognizing that. I think it will be very well recognized by, and say I was very bearish on this public sector banks. But मेरे को लगता है selectively not even public sector banks are. But the problem there is we don't know what the ultimate equity will be.
You are not too surprised with the kind of wealth erosion PSU stocks have seen. It's not just PSU banks, oil companies, manufacturing companies, all PSU companies in last 2 or 3 years have destroyed a lot of shareholder value.
Well, जो गली में हम जाते नहीं उसका सोचते नहीं. हमने पब्लिक सेक्टर स्टॉक्स बेच दिया. I made lot of money. I mean Bharat Electronics, Bharat Atnuva, Shipping Corporation, lots of them. But after that I never looked at them.
What would you say is one life-changing advice you've received and you've given?
Life-changing advice: look after your health. And I think life-changing advice is life is not about regrets. Life is about learnings. We should not regret whatever happens in life has happened. We should learn from it rather than regret it. So life is about learnings, not about regrets.
I saw Sanju last week, and I guess Ranbir Kapoor has done a great job of playing Sanjay Dutt's role. So if a movie has to be made on you, which actor would you like to? Which actor should do that role?
हीरोइन वीरोइन का पूछे तो बोले यार एक्टर का क्या बोलूं?
It's on you. So.
I play myself here.
And who should play Mrs. Jhunjhunwala? Because every year you interview a heroine. Now you've also done audition test.
Who should play Mrs. Jhunjhunwala? The real Mrs. Jhunjhunwala तो एक ही होने वाली है. आप समझे ना? क्या मालूम कब ये सब चीजें सोचते नहीं है.
You know, there are fake accounts in name of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. There are Twitter accounts in name of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. When will the real Rakesh Jhunjhunwala go social?
Why I'm social? I use WhatsApp.
No, I'm saying social media.
See, Nikunj, I don't want to share my opinions too easily. And why is my opinion important on any and every aspect? And say I want to, rather than, I'm telling you very frankly, 2-3 reasons. Rather than seeking publicity, let us limit our exposure. And what is it new to say every day? But today, you tell me, Rakesh, I give essentially 3, 4, 5 TV interviews a year. Because every year, every time there's nothing new to say. Right? And I have, so therefore, although I'm a very opinionated person, why should I share a lot of my opinions with people and aram se, let's take life easy. Let's not get into controversies. Let's enjoy what God has given us.
You've been making a case that the Indian investor will surprise you with a comeback. An Indian investor has made a comeback. The word you've used in the past is tsunami. The tsunami of local money is coming. And we can see evidence of that. Do you think this cycle will only pick up?
It has to. Look at the way the savings will grow. Boss, if India is a $10 trillion economy by 2030, our saving will be $3 trillion a year here. उसका 10% यहाँ आ गया तो शेयर कहाँ से रहेंगे? 300 billion. Don't forget 32% of household wealth today in America is equity. And see, one thing what I wanted to share with you, why I feel equity will remain. See, it's not about that, I don't know what you are trying to learn, But I, as an investor, if I get 18 to 24% return, I am extremely happy. And the reality is कि 18 से 24% ज़्यादा return आता नहीं है, right? And don't think you are smart कि I am an Indian well-known investor, I'll get 30%. I don't think so, right? So question is, no, I myself think that I have far less assets in jewelry than I should have. Because अपने पुरुष बोल के गए हैं कि we must keep 2-3-4% of our wealth in jewelry. And it's not that Rakesh Jhunjhunwala or his children may not fall upon bad days. I know friends who have survived for 5 years by selling jewelry. And just because I have wealth today, don't think it's going to last forever. So जो अपने ancestors बोल के गए हैं, we must keep 2-3-4%, and I don't even have 0.25%, right? So the question is, where should I invest? Where is the ease? No GST. आपको 1.5-2% लेके अच्छा म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्ट करके देते हैं. आज आपको डेट में 8% पोस्ट टैक्स मिलेगा, तो इसमें मेरे वक्त 18% to 16% पोस्ट टैक्स मिलेगा. एंड यू नो द डिफरेंस इन 8%, 8-9 years में पैसा डबल होता है. इन 18% 4 साल में होता है. क्या फर्क है?
Most of the good mutual fund schemes have given a return of 15 to 18% on a CAGR basis for last 5-7 years. If you think that expected returns from equity market should not be more than 15 to 18% on a longer term basis, do you think for an average investor, mutual funds actually can make you reach your financial objectives?
That's the only way, no? नहीं तो ससुर जी के भाई ने बोला ना, पिताजी के भाई ने बोला ना, वो सब डूबने के धंधे हैं. See, the biggest disruption is really coming in communication, right? Disruption will come in manufacturing, but that will take time according to me. And I don't see any major disruption. See, the one is disruption, like you will say कि भाई cash payment से तुम digital payment में जा रहे हो. It's not disruption, it's good. Change, right? And all change will bring negativity to somebody, right? But we have to look at the overall good. So India में pace of change will be slow, right? But I think, जैसे मेरे को लगता है, I don't know whether to call it disruption or not. मेरे को लगता है इंडिया में जो credit behavior और industrial growth में जो change आएगा ना, people can't believe it, right? And see how India has changed. I want to give you an example. Radhakishan Damani, he is SSC pass, right? According to me, he is India's biggest, not biggest, but most successful and most profitable retailer. Whom did he compete with? The House of Tatas, the House of Reliance, and the House of Birla. Now it is, and he follows every law, not only in spirit but in letter. I can certify it. So see, this country में कुछ disruption हुआ है ना. People are there who come from nowhere, who can challenge them. This itself is a disruption in this country. That I came with no wealth, and I could earn wealth. If you thought of it 25 years ago, unheard. So the things in India, things are changing for the good. And see, the development of the capital markets is extremely important to this country. Not because you and I want to profit, but that will bring entrepreneurship, that will get capital. See how this country has changed. In 91 mein, if you had seen the 100 richest people, 98% was ancestral wealth. In 2018, 80% is newfound wealth. Look at the change. Kind of change which has come in this country already is unbelievable. So this disruption is constant. Now to identify in which area it's going to come, वो लगता है सबसे बड़ा सारा disruption तो टेलीफोन में हुआ है. मतलब मेरे को लगा, we are going to America, 5,000 rupees I can use the phone unlimited America. मेरे को लगता है 5,000 का 2 साल में 1,000 रुपये हो जाएगा.
For every man, the biggest risk you take is when you marry, right? So when you married Rekha Bhabhi, was that a risk? And I'm sure when you decided to take that risk, was there a stop loss in that risk?
Well, I'll give you a very, see, life is a gamble, marriage the ultimate one. वो क्या है कि 16-16 साल साथ में रहते हैं, फिर शादी करते हैं, फिर 1 महीने में डाइवोर्स करते हैं. So you really know a person when you live as a relationship as husband and wife, because attitudes change. You may have a live-in relationship, but may not have the same attitude as a husband and wife will have, right? And I say marriage, life is a risk, marriage the ultimate one, and it's a very costly risk, because see, undoing marriage, I'm not against undoing marriage, but it's at a great cost, great emotional cost, right? And I always tell Rekha, you may leave me, but I may leave you, but I cannot leave Aryaman, Aravir and Nishta.